Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I'm thrilled. Everybody knows how much I love music. I love Bronx music. I love bringing music to people who don't often get a lot of music and deserve it like we all do. And that's why I'm going to bring on Concerts in Motion. And we're going to say first hi to Jennifer Carnahan. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to have you with us. And Katie Miller, they tell me she's a singer. We've barely heard her voice yet. How are you, Katie?
I am doing so well.
Wow, and she's got a great smile too. Yes, Jennifer. So concerts in motion. Let's see. Reached over and people think of, do your fingers and think about this number: 1,400 residents um, uh, each year. And now I'm going to give the Bronx neighborhoods: Co-op City, Crotona, Pelham Parkway, Riverdale, South Bronx, Van Cortlandt Village, just to name a few. And so that really covers the map. Jennifer, tell me about Concerts in Motion. What is it? Who is it? And why is it just? Why does Gary think it's so important to have in the Bronx?
Well, your love of music is exactly who we are. We bring music and conversation to older adults and individuals feeling isolated. All of our musicians, including Katie, who's here today, are trained in person centered trauma informed care. So that informs how they converse with those that they're playing for. Our musicians represent 16 genres of music and they speak 19 languages. So we serve all five boroughs of New York City, but the Bronx is our favorite, of
Well,
course.
of course, that you didn't even you're preaching to the choir on that, so that's okay. But I was not aware. I mean, because there are groups that go out and play, but you make sure that people are trained to do this specific work. So as you say, they're multilingual and they have some social service skills, if you will. Right? That's
Yes.
pretty darn exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. We have over 100 professional musicians and
Wow.
we have about 180 student musicians. We have a youth program as well.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's see. I've got another list here: older adult centers, naturally occurring retirement communities, libraries, the Y, the VA hospital, settlement houses, supportive housing for people experiencing mental health or substance use issues. Um, Needless to say, right? And here's the redundant question. Then we're going to go to Katie. Needless to say, people there. Their faces must light up when they see and hear music in those places. But they're both nodding their head. But Jennifer, right? This must be just incredibly joyful for the performers.
It's a win-win-win. And what's really important to remember is that we are in an epidemic of isolation still in this country post-COVID. And even the Surgeon General spoke to this. It's countrywide. And Concerts in Motion has been in a unique, strong position to address. Social isolation is actually it's a health risk. People they say that social isolation is equivalent to smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. It's a real health hazard, and people don't realize it until sometimes it's too late, where they're already having cognitive
Wow.
decline.
You
So
know what you just said reminded me of something that I hadn't thought about even mentioning. This goes way back. I've been doing BronxNet television for 30 years. So this was prior to that. I was a radio disc jockey. And because of my love of music, I taught music at Sing Sing in a prison. And
wow,
so I would go through the doors, and I guess somewhere I'm registered in New York State, in the New York State prison system. And I remember when I would put on like Curtis Mayfield, and I had these men in front of me who had been incarcerated. And I remember seeing their faces and they were literally transported somewhere else. So I can, no, I'm not necessarily comparing people incarcerated with the wonderful people that you serve, but I can understand somebody who's isolated, somebody who has been divorced in that way from their heritage and their music, that you bring such joy. Apparently, we're having Wi-Fi issues with Katie, and we apologize, and we hope we'll get back to her, or even better, have people come out and watch her sing. But
yes.
Jennifer, tell me about the selection of the music and the selection of the musicians. You know, how large an operation do you have to manage here, and how close do you get to each performance?
It's a massive operation. We serve about 30,000 people annually.
Oh,
Uh,
well, I had because it was 1,400 Bronx residents,
Bronx,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
1,400 in the Bronx, but 30,000 across
wow.
all boroughs, and we have a virtual program that we developed during COVID that's very successful, and we serve people nationwide. We're very good at serving people with a variety of issues, including cognitive decline, people who are coming from social trauma that came from a societal event like a Holocaust or other events that
Wow.
went around our globe. And so each concert that we do is carefully cultivated for the audience. So
Mhm.
the concert that Katie is performing is at the Sage Cortona Pride Center.
All right.
Um,
That was like
she was
a big show for you guys, right?
Yeah, we serve there. We love serving them, and they love what Katie does and what she sings. So we really we only hire the musicians, or we send volunteers from our youth program based on the beloved music of those that we serve, um,
Wow. So
in
you
the
really
language that they love.
program it for the specific audience, whether it be
Yes,
age. If it's a senior audience, presumably you'll do, older music.
it
And if
just
it's
depends.
it just
Yeah, it
depends
depends.
on
Yeah, like,
who
for example, our veterans, they know jazz. Like, we have to send
really.
excellent jazz. They
I
know
would not have
they
thought of it.
Yeah,
But you see, and again, I'm so prejudiced about the Bronx. If you're looking for jazz, man, we we there are a ton of musicians here who do it. But that must be also where do you get them like when they graduate school and they graduate, let's say a music school, but they've gotten social training, or do they come to you and then you provide training to let them know what they're going to be getting into, so to speak?
Yeah, so right now it's word of mouth. We've just begun trying to recruit in certain areas of the city,
Mhm.
so we always welcome Bronx musicians for sure. Normally, musicians that come to us, they have a kind heart and they want to do this work. We do pay them; they're our employees, and we pay them for this training that
Wow.
they take with us. And then they help us because they tell us how the concert went, what were some of the things that they observed, and that really informs our programming. So
To me, which I really didn't know well until we spoke this evening, but uh, people play music. I thought it's a wonderful thing that you go to different places and you play music. I did not realize the depth to which you understood this process and really worked to make it work for individuals. You
yes,
know.
it's one and some. And when we started, I'm an opera singer, and
Oh,
yeah, we started this when
should
I
I
was.
ask you to do a couple of bars?
I don't know what it'll sound like
Uh,
on this.
oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, I started this. It all happened because I was singing professionally, and my particular voice type, the music is very complex. So I needed to practice running through my programs. So I'd go to different nursing homes and veterans hospitals.
Wow.
Yeah, and what really got me though was not just how they appreciated my coming and the gesture of kindness, but how much they really needed to talk and really tell their stories about what the music brought up for them. So, like one of the concerts I'll never forget, the guy said he was the roommate of Mario Lanza, and anyone listening who knows who
Wow.
Mario Lanza was. So I'm from Philadelphia, and I had just sung in his competition, so it was just this really awesome
So
thing.
all of
But
a sudden, yeah, all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, now I know what I ought to do." Um,
yeah,
to me, that it's just a fascinating human thing. And
yeah.
when you talked about isolationism, I see it all the time in Bronx streets. I remember looking out my window, I don't know, on a Saturday, and people would just be out and walking or running or going somewhere. Now I'm assuming they go somewhere, but they're doing it in a car or they jump on the bus, and they're definitely not out as much as they were before the pandemic. How long has Concerts in Motion been in operation?
We're 15 years old, so I
Wow,
founded it in 2009. Yeah,
wow. And about how many concerts do you do a year? So 30,000 people, 1,400 in the Bronx, but how many do you play?
1,000.
Oh, 1,000. It's funny because I thought maybe you were gonna have to do a little figuring, but no, you had that.
No.
You do 1,000 concerts.
Yeah,
That's
and I have
amazing.
a team of amazing women who work behind the scenes with incredible skill and talent to make all these happen.
Y
And the way we
yeah.
do it,
Excuse me,
yeah,
1,000, by the way, doing the very loose arithmetic is 3 a day.
yes, something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, my head just exploded. That's okay. That is so many. So you now do you work out of an office or everybody works from home nowadays? Of
Well,
course,
you
they
know,
can
it's
do that,
funny. We did have an office pre-COVID, but we've been
right?
using WeWork as a good solution for us. We figured out how much we actually need to meet as a team and how much people can just kind of do from home. So that's been a good solution for us because our concerts are happening in every borough of the city, and then we have a virtual program. So those concerts are free of charge, and they're 9 a week in various languages and genres.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we serve people across the country with those concerts. And so some of them are for people with dementia, people who are Chinese speaking, Russian speaking,
And
Slavic.
then you have that music from that culture in that way.
Yes, yes,
That is just, I'm really just, I'm impressed. I'm thrilled because I understand it, and I'm going to guess now. I realize maybe Queens is a little bit like that, but that speaks so much to the borough of the Bronx.
yes,
People, people who have been marginalized for any possible reason, could even be health reasons or disabilities or whatever it is, and as well as their immigration status. I mean, we could go on and on and on. That in many ways defines our borough, and you're addressing them. Thank you so
yes,
much. Thank you
yes,
so much. Okay,
yes.
so now let's see the Jewish and klezmer concert at Riverdale Senior Services. Speak.
Yes.
That's July 10th. Speaking of, playing right to the people that you serve. Anything else you want to mention? And also, please give us a contact for anybody who works in an organization and wants to contact you.
Wonderful. Yes, I will do that. And essentially, our role is reminding people of their dignity. And when you're socially isolated, it's not only really depressing, but it can be feeling demoralizing. And so, with music, when we bring music to people that's very thought through and it's combined with a kind person who's interested in listening to them and their lived experience, it kind of
It
works as
changes their life. I just want to move it
a
along
transformative.
before. So, what contact information do we use? A phone number, an email? What do we do?
Yes, the website I gave to Anderson,
Okay, he's going to put it up on the
concertsinmotion.org.
screen.
He'll bring
Yeah,
it up on the screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what is it? Just state it out loud.
It's www.concertsinmotion.org.
And then they'll be able to get to you. Listen, you are saving the world, Jennifer Carnahan. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the
And and
opportunity.
thank you so much for taking care of our people in the Bronx. We appreciate it.
Aw,
And tell
thank you so
Katie
much.
we'll get her next time. It's fine.
Okay, I'll let her
Okay.
know.
Okay. Okay, folks,
Thank
that will do it for the Bronx Buzz. We thank Rosalind for our first segment, and we really thank Jennifer and all our folks at Concerts in Motion. What a wonderful concept. And we'll see you next time.